Good evening. Tonight I'd like to tell you a bit of a sad story. Matter of fact, I call it Joe's sad story. Joe isn't his name, but it's what we'll call him, because Joe is a common name, and this is an all too common story, a common occurrence in our local high school. Joe has just become aware of an embarrassing fact, and that is that as a senior, he has barely enough credits to qualify as a junior. He will be back next year for his 5th year of high school. Super senior is what they call it. And whether it's Joe's fault or a system failure or genetics or environment, no matter, Joe is slipping through the cracks. He's about to become a statistic, an unwanted black mark on a ledger of failures. The saddest part of this story is perhaps it could have been different. You can't know that, a voice in my head says, trying to excuse the evidence, but it's still there. Joe isn't going to walk in June with his buddies. Joe isn't going to be heading off to college next fall. He's going to be treading the same halls he's walked for the past 4 years because he has a handicap. No, he isn't crippled. He doesn't have a missing limb or a non-functioning organ. Joe is hampered in a different way. As he struggled with a minor conceptual problem on one of his papers with me today, he said, and this is, I quote, he said, "That's about all I know about this subject. I can't help it if I'm dumber than a box of rocks." And his harsh self-criticism kind of threw me back. And I decided to challenge him a bit on it. And I said, "Joe, I'm tired of hearing you say this kind of negative stuff about yourself. You're not stupid. I've seen your work. Why do you want to belittle yourself like that?" And here's what Joe said. He said, "That's what I hear at my house all the time. That's what my dad always says about me." My heart sank like a rock in a lake. The reality of Joe's 5-year high school career might have been well summed up in that 3-sentence conversation. If you are a parent, listen up. You are the number one source of strength, help, motivation, and character development that your children will ever have the opportunity to engage. The nature of parenting should be to empower and to lift up and encourage and prepare our children for a positive and successful future. What sort of future can possibly be hoped for if for our kids we use our words to destroy them instead of empower them? You ever seen an eagle sink its talons into its baby eaglet and when the young thing is just learning to fly and hurl it against the rocks and watch it bash and crash to the ground and die? No, I didn't think so, because they don't do that. They help them to learn how to fly. There's lots of Joes out there. When they needed a hand to lift them up, instead they got a heel to push them down. Our words can be healing balm or scalding acid. For the sake of our future as a people and a planet, make your words count for good. Build up your kids, not with fluff and hype, but let them know that they're loved and that they have worth. Your reward will be children who gather at your table and bless you. If there's one thing I've learned in my years on this rock, I can say I know this from experience. This is Steve Garrett saying grace and peace.